Hi. So the video is supposed to go out at 1 p.m. UTC. I think it'll be 1:30 or something by the time you guys get it, because I'm recording this at 12:30. So my bias from yesterday is pretty much the same for Bitcoin. No real changes. We said that the weekly close here looked extremely bullish outside of the yearly value area high in terms of VWAP and breaking out above these highs, very close to these highs. But as is obvious, we had a little sweep up and then we had a nuke. I do not think, if this goes still here, we just die and go to 44K, right? But I don't think that's possible. In fact, the one of the best areas to try and cover shorts was, yep, was this level around here. So this is September highs. 66.666 is the beam number, which should have been held, is being held. Just keep an eye on this level. All right. Sorry, guys. It's like today's the third day that I really haven't slept, but that's all right. We keep on hustling. We keep on moving forward. That being said, let's just look at something I wanted to show you is this. The reason I feel that this 65 to 66K retest might fail is because if we consider this entire move to just be a gigantic range, let me just, yeah, so since March till now, if we consider this to be a gigantic range, what we've seen is price comes to the value area high and then collapses, rotates back down. Same thing can happen, but if this breakout is truly bullish, like I don't want to see price retracing all the way back to these levels, like 63K POC. Like if we come here, I want to see a quick sweep and move back up, back above this trend line that we have here. Okay, that is like the most bullish scenario. But the base case that I have is that price reaches somewhere around here and comes back, wicks below, and then starts cruising up. If we have a slow bleed down, then I expect us to retrace all the way to 59K or so, and that would be our value area low. So just be prepared for all scenarios. It really did look like, this is something like a bullish impulse, but given the spot flows that we discussed, like spot continuously keeps on dumping. Even yesterday, like just the spot CVD has, and this is aggregate CVD, so it has just been continuously dragging us down. Okay. And right now, what you're seeing is price just formed a new range. So we had this move back below after open interest was already at extreme highs. And this was a short trigger around these levels. I TP'd a little bit around these lows as we talked about in the trading view chart. And I feel like what follows now is a continuation low. If we have an impulse up, I expect this level to show some resistance. I'll explain why on my trading view. Let me just get rid of this and put this on. Yep. So this anchored VWAP is from the 53K lows that we had. That was the last significant low before this gigantic push up. So we deviated, we were extremely strong in pushing against the higher VWAP bands. But now we're kind of nuking back below, right? So this is why this level is really important, right? The anywhere if we come back here and we fake out below this VWAP, so let's say the VWAP goes like this, all right, and then we price comes back here to fake out, reclaim. This is a perfect long signal. Given that that is unlikely to happen, your first target for shorts should be around this 65.8K level. And this clearly aligns with the level that we had put out earlier. So this sort of base for volume profile, just refine that a little bit. Yeah, this is kind of perfect, right? So this should be your first area to TP shorts. And then if we break back below, then we can get some compounding opportunities. Now, why do I think that we can push up in the short term? And that would give us another short entry. So one of the reasons is that we're breaking down from trend. So we broke down from lower time frame trend. and then we collapse to higher time frame trend now. Higher time frame trend is still holding a little bit right now. So what can happen right now, because we have this crossover here, so price can give us a little sweep back above and then reject from these areas. Okay. Now, which area do I expect to be strong resistance? If we, this is completely possible that we kind of hold this area, uh, and we have like a few areas of interest. So this VWAP holding is just continuation of the trend. So trend was extremely explosive. It fizzled out a little. We nuked completely fine. Now, if we come back here at 65.5K or 66K and we hold it, that's trend continuation, man. Like that's something that you take to the highs again. Okay. So this is why my short TPs are around here. And if we get the trigger that I'm talking about, let's say we come down till here, you see a large number of liquidations and price sweeps above and starts to range here. And then at the same time, we see this spot CVD kind of behaving a little bit, then I'll be extremely bullish. Okay. So now, if you don't get that, I'm just focused on getting out of my shorts. So my first partial TP was hit at this NPOC. The next partial TP will be hit at this NPOC and VWAP combination. And beyond that, we'll see what happens. Okay. Another thing is on the lower time frames, we had this three tap setup. So this is your range high, this is your range low. In fact, this is where I took a scalp long. I'm not really talking too much about my scalp positions, but this is where I took a scalp long all the way to this NPOC from here. And it's all done now. The swing shorts are still in place. So if we just look at the nice Fibonacci levels that price gives us, now this Fibonacci level here, around 68.4, also aligns with this VWAP band and also aligns with this value area high. So if we get some kind of an impulse up here, you can try to reshort the first impulse. If we get here first, now if we break down and we retest this first, then I'm not interested in shorts. But if we go back up without testing these lows, like the areas of interest that we had, then I'm interested in another compound short. Okay. As for now, we're still ranging in today's value area high. So you can just mark these out. This is the, okay, I'll do it manually. So this is the value area high, and here we have today's value area low. So once we have the US open, you want to see similar rotational price action between these levels, and we'll see what we get. Okay, that's about it for Bitcoin. Also, for order flow stuff, it's been extremely difficult to get good order flow signals because spot has been relentlessly dumping. But it's a good sign that open interest has reset a little bit yesterday. In fact, like if we look at liquidations, we had a decent number of liquidations the last 2 days, around 200, 300 million in liquidations. And at the same time, uh, open interest, so now the global open interest has also decreased, at least for Bitcoin. For altcoins, it's similar. So we made an all-time high in global open interest on 21st of October, and then we're down a small percentage by now. Okay. So that sharp nuke in open interest, which is very clearly seen on lower time frames, is kind of decent. It's not enough. That's why I'm still looking for lower. Like we need more pain. Okay. And that's about it. Now, in terms of altcoins, I did have a few. Yeah, you can already see it, reacting from the value area low. These levels will be important, guys. Like just always have these on your chart, and mostly your execution will be based on price action, but your reasoning can be based on anything. Now, if you have a lot of confluence factors, like this is a supply zone, this is a good fib level, this is a VWAP band, you had a value area high of the previous day there. So if you have all of these confluences, now this is a good area to short. So if price comes back here, sweeps some local highs, does not get above this area, and closes back below, then you can just short it all the way down, right? That's how it works. In terms of altcoins, we had this, so I charted this out. I really liked Brett as an idea. The reason I liked Brett a lot, particularly, is because it's been listed, gigantic move up, and it's a meme coin which hasn't died, right? So this meme coin went down 70% from the highs and is now like 80% up from the lows, which is still about 50% below all-time highs. Now, this is a daily heuristic band, and we have this kind of value area region, like this volume profile for this coin. We came down, we kept on ranging at the lows. A good time to enter would have been around these levels, but we did not get this. Like I didn't even know about this coin back then. This was, in fact, this daily engulfing was a really important candle. So now, since we have moved back above, where can we bid? A good area would be this, but my bias for Bitcoin is kind of low. So I'll be looking for longs at this 0.095, zero point 0.1 area. And from here, if the initial impulse is rejected at this August September range high, because this is your August September range high, this is max capitulation. Okay. So if you have max capitulation, ranging, and then a breakout, a decent, strong breakout, right? You want this initially to hold, but because this is forming a head and shoulders, if this breaks down, I am not like when these chart patterns fail, I get bullish, right? So if it breaks down from here, I will actually try to short it till here, and that means that no base party. But if we come here and then hold it, then I'm looking to take this all the way to this fib level value area high, SR level from this June to July range, and maybe even take partials along the way, all the way to all-time high. Okay. Now, if we look at the lower time frames, so lower time frames paint a much clearer picture where you have a decent number of VWAPs. We extended quarterly open, huge dump, huge pump, and this quarterly open is still here. So what has happened is this is the quarterly open, all right? Now, from the quarterly open, price has faked out, dumped, made this U-shape recovery, and is now coming back to retest it. If this retest holds, your bias should be that the quarterly candle closes really well. That's why I would be looking for longs. So basically, just this entire area from 0.097, let's say, all the way down to 0.092 is one of the perfect areas to look for long entries. I'll even set an alert for this level as well. And then this would also be uh, just like a nice trend line breakout, just like we had earlier. So if we come back down, let's say we don't go all the way down or something like this, and then you put your stop below whatever the sweep is good enough. Okay. Just a setup to keep in mind is whenever you have this daily breakout over summer ranges and then prices consolidating here, this is a very good risk reward bet. Like I don't use fixed stop losses, and a lot of people scream at me for that. But if you want to be like, I'll be honest with you, if you want to be a successful trader, you cannot use fixed stop losses, right? Because altcoins are very noisy. Imagine that you long this wick, like you had a fill the wick logic, you got wicked out here. You cannot use hard stops as a trader who trades any kind of size. Like this 44% move, you would have missed out on. So wait for it. Size small. Now, if you tell me that you can't trade in a wide range, like this is the range I just told you about is a 4% range. So if you tell me that you can't, you're very uncomfortable uh, in such a wide range. I mean, just learn to manage your risk properly. Okay. Like let's say you take an entry just here, and then you place your stop loss somewhere around here, and mental stop loss. Okay. If it closes back, if it starts breaking down, then we rethink our strategy. And then just till these highs, it is a 2 hour trade. Okay. And I am saying that this is where you take partials if it works out, and you target all time high. This is a fucking 5.7 hour trade. So if you only have $1,000 to trade with, just buy like, and your risk per trade, like if you want your risk to be $50, just make sure that you buy a small amount and just do that. Like you don't have to take large risk regardless of your account size. Like 1% risk or 2% risk or 5% risk is just that. It doesn't matter whether you have $1 million or whether you have $100,000. You just take 1 to 5% of risk per trade. Okay. So I don't know, man. Like just learn how to manage risk and be okay with winning small. Like not every trade will make you a millionaire, right? One trade won't make you a millionaire. Just size small and try to do it consistently. Try to do it every day. Anyone who tells you you can be a millionaire in a few trades is just selling you something. It's just wrong. Anyway, this is the open interest profile. Another reason why I'm looking for a flush here is because we have this key SR level and then we held it once and we have this structure. So if we break out here, then sure, we can look for longs, as I said. But you want open interest to get flushed out once. So if open interest gets flushed out, price goes down, right? Sweeps this VWAP, then we are good to continue for higher. Okay. The next request was gas. Is that what you call it? Gas, gas. I don't know. So this coin I actually liked a lot on the lower time frames. Overall, I'm still leaning a little bit bearish on this. Like I'm actually looking to short this if we get it. I don't know what this coin does. I'll have to do more research before I trade it. But it's just this is just in the middle of the range. Okay. So if it's in the middle of the range, we can just nuke back down. If we reclaim, even then, like there's so much supply structure above that it's always best to trade these coins on the lower time frames. Okay. On the lower time frames, this looks good. We had like a really nice breakout. You could have taken this if you just put on volume. So like a nice liquidation candle even after breakout. So many uh, shorts getting nuked. So a decent trade for that, but I wouldn't consider any swing longs here. Okay, simple reason is because you don't know how much supply overhead is there. If you have a fundamental, if anyone, like I think we recommended this. So if you have a fundamental reason to be bullish on this coin, let me know, and we can talk about it. But this is a 2023 coin, and it's just it's in the middle of the range. So you need it to go to extremes. Now this can pretty big 66% range, but something needs to happen here at the extremes for you to consider a swing trade. Lower time frame trades, no problem, mate. Like just go for it. Something like this. Whenever, like for altcoins, I don't. You can see that for Bitcoin, I look at so much stuff like order flow and things, but for altcoins, you just have to have a clear bias on Bitcoin. And since this is showing a lot of strength against Bitcoin, you can consider longs. Okay, so you can even kind of, if we get some sort of a pullback, you can just long it like this or something. Yeah, just go for it. Doesn't matter. You don't need confirmation from me. You don't really need anyone to look at it. It's completely fine. Now let's look at the biggest scam in all of crypto. Okay. This bullshit coin is still in the top 10 by market cap. So ADA, Cardano, whatever you want to call it, just daily level, rejection, rejection. I mean, I short this coin from time to time, but it's not even worth shorting because it's down so bad. Like just to give you context, Cardano is not worth trading. A lot of the supply is for the insiders. Like this, how do you even long or short this coin, right? So the reason I don't talk about it too much is sometimes when I find nothing else to short and I really want to short the market, I short this. But in terms of actionable setups, it's really hard to find them because uh, the supply of this coin is extremely controlled. So, like, this is probably a good short confluence. You have all of these lows here to be cleaned up, right? So if we break below, come back down, retest, sort it based on some kind of a setup like this, maybe. But then again, like a lot of supply is controlled. One news can just spike it up and then bring it right back down. So up to you if you want to trade it. Let's talk about FTM. I want to talk about FTM actually. So this is a target from a previous trade. So FTM is one of the coins that I'm fundamentally extremely bullish on, and we're just retracing to the quarterly VWAP right now. Okay, so I have alerts set for this coin. I own a lot of spot. My spot entry is like 0.4 or something. So I'm not touching my spot at all. This is the area that I wanted to get some longs in, and I'm still waiting for that to happen. In terms of open interest for FTM, I think it'll paint the same picture. The good thing is that open interest has retraced a lot. So, price and open interest are in sync now. So if open interest even goes to this level, right, that would be the best case scenario. So if open interest falls another 12, 13%, and FTM falls into my area like 6, 8%, that would be the best case scenario. Obviously, we can clean up more lows. That is always on the table. This is why you always have triggers for a trade because this structure is very peculiar. This is a structure for a coin in accumulation. Okay. If I just showed you the daily chart, this is, oh, this is from, I think this is from early August. Like we took a perp long here. Imagine if the long that I took here, I just held it till now. Yeah, I should really do swing trades more, but let's remove everything, okay? Let's make this something educational. So this is a very important kind of level where you broke down. We thought this was our summer range. It was not. Broke down, broke back above, and now we're consolidating here. Now you can either be a bear and keep shorting like these sweeps, or you can just keep buying retests. So if we come back all the way down to 0.5, like this is a golden buying opportunity in my opinion. But I really think what's going to happen is just some vertical accumulation. So if we take the summer low and we anchor a VWAP here, so if we get to like these bands, what you want to see is price come back down, consolidate, and keep moving up. What is likely to happen, especially in these scenarios, is that we come back till these levels, move back down, come back here, move back, and just this until we have some sort of a blow off. Okay, same thing happened in early 2024, and this always happens. Like whenever you have a capitulation low, just look at how price behaves. Initially, people will keep on trading between these levels, try to buy support resistance. But when it starts going vertical, there's no getting in. So I really believe that something like that is going to happen for FTN, which is exactly why I wouldn't be shorting it anytime soon, and I'll be trying to long it on dips. Okay, I'll keep you guys updated. A good level is, as I said, 0.666, 0.68. Like just wait for what happens when Bitcoin gets to our levels, okay? Wherever FTM is at that point, you just long it. So just sweeping these lows and then moving back is enough. Like that's enough for any kind of bounce. If you look at this, this was a nice retest of this level, right? So if you would have just bought this, and this is just a previous resistance, turn support. So just buying this would have given you a 12.5% move up. And you wouldn't catch that. Like I agree. You would have longed somewhere here, and then it started dumping again, so you would have closed somewhere here. Even then, like this is a 5.6, 5 to 6% move. This is why I don't use fixed stop loss and fixed entry methods. Like this, bro, like just scale in and size small so that your wins and losses are both extremely small. But using this method, your like when I bought around here, like my I could have bought this all the way down to here. So I'm only taking 20% or 30% of the position size I can take. But the way it rewards me is that I'm making less money, but I'm making money every single day. Uh, anyway, I hope that helps. And Ape, yeah, Ape is just dying right now. Like I ca- I actually closed it yesterday and then I FOMO shorted a little bit, like just as a scalp. But now I'm thinking that I'll hold that scalp for longer because it's the same level. So that's the thing, right? So if I it's very hard for me to update you guys about my trading positions, especially in coins like these, when I'm getting alerts in the middle of the night and I'm just taking positions on my phone. Okay. So what I suggest is just keep a note of my level. So now this level, 1.45 level, you've known about it for a very long time. So when we came back here, you should have taken profit. And now we retested like 1.6 is my level in the sand again for a very long time. Like this was there in my first post. So if we form a range high and range low here, like let's just like remove everything, okay? Let's just hide this for a second. So this is your range high, this is your range low. Your range low is untapped. So this is a perfect three tap setup. You formed a range high, you formed a range low, you have this HVN here. So you last time what happened is you held this HVN, but you still rejected at range high. So this was a perfect short opportunity. I didn't catch it at like the extreme top, but I shorted somewhere here out of FOMO. And look how it's worked out. So what I'm basically saying is that you need to keep a track of these important levels. And when we get there, just have a mental stop loss in mind and take these positions. Like don't worry about, oh, where's my stop loss going to be so much? Like, I'm not saying don't trade without a stop loss like me. I'm just saying that don't be afraid to take low RR setups, right? So if you take a trade here, like don't, let's say you shorted here, right? You took a perfect trade. We swept above these highs. You took a trade here. So don't try to take this trade. These 13-hour setups, these don't work most of the time. Same thing, like if you try to do this here, you would have been immediately stopped out because we're in the range heights, right? We swept above, closed back down. You would have been immediately stopped out. So what you want to do is keep a very wide stop loss and then have multiple targets. Now this is a 1.6 hour trade. That's okay, right? Let's say we deviated all the way back above and you did not close. So just give yourself some room and try this, like literally. Let's say when we came up till here, right? You gave yourself some room all the way up till this high. And then you targeted first this VWAP 1.22 hour. This is target one. And then you target my 1.33 level. This is another HVM. So this is a 2 hour trade. If you take partial profits along the way, you'll make only 1.5 hour. But if you make 1.5 hour every single day and you have like a 50-60% win rate, you are rich within a year. Like you're not rich instantly, but you're rich within a year. So, I don't know, guys. Like, just try to keep these things in mind. I'm trying to get the video out soon, so I'll stop this here and I'll see you in the next video update.